back to another Book Babes Book Club review. I am Shanell.
I'm Steph.
Michelle. Kelsey.
And we are the Book Babes. So our book of the month that we did for February was Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. And it was really good. What do you guys think?
I love
Really
Colleen
good.
Hoover, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's one of my favorite authors. I was really excited for this one, and I did not disappoint. It's a 5-star for me, definitely. And
5 stars for Kingsley.
and Case is excited about it too. He loves Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's one of her few books that has like dual point of view, which was really cool to kind of see the guys and the girls' perspective. So.
Yeah, I feel like you got a little bit more to the story. This is only my second Coho book, but I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was really like emotional and impactful, but still relatable. So it was good.
Yeah, I'd say 5 stars for me too. And I've read probably 5 or 6 of her books, and this is definitely my favorite.
Hey, this was my first Colleen Hoover book, and it was actually really good. I didn't know what to expect from her writing, but I actually really enjoyed her writing style. It was very quick, and you just kind of really developed a relationship with the characters pretty fast.
Definitely.
And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it's a fast read. It's a fast read, easy read, and how many pages? Like 300 and something?
Yeah, this was pretty,
Not bad.
with the epilogue, it was 320.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
how cool that they give you a
Yes,
playlist.
the
though.
playlist.
That's really cool.
I
Playlist.
love when books do
Yes.
that. That was really cool.
Actually,
It's really cute. It's all supposed to be really happy songs that like don't make you cry. So,
I like that.
but it's also Coho, so you go cry.
I know, every book of hers has made me bawl, and this was no exception.
Yeah, this is emotional. So if you haven't read it yet, be prepared. You go cry.
Get the tissues.
Yes,
Right.
get tissues. Mhm.
I wanted to share a little quote from it that I really enjoyed and that I thought was really good. I related to it a lot. So it's on page 310 and it says, "It proves that time, distance, and devastation allow people enough opportunity to craft villains out of people they don't even know."
Yes, that was one of the ones I like bookmarked too. Yeah, she had a lot of good quotes and just very relatable too. Like you can, just make really good.
Yeah.
Well, and it really speaks to what I feel is one of the strongest themes in the book was like not really judging people you don't know. Like everyone has a story, everyone has a side to a story.
Yeah.
And this book really, like Kenna, who's the main character, you get her side of the story, but you also get Ledger's side, you get Scotty's parents' side. We never really get to get Scotty's side of it, but you get all these different sides to the same story and you realize how much Kenna has been judged, how much of these judgments against her are based on complete misunderstandings and assumptions. It's like they totally made a villain out of her because they misunderstood what happened and enough time went by that they just built this grudge against her. And like it just goes to show like you never really know a person.
Yeah, definitely.
And lots of good stuff.
I have another one too.
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Share.
This one's on page 16. And I'm just trying to find where to start. Or does it say bad words?
You can just say bleep. If it does.
Okay,
Discussing this earlier, a lot of the chapters kind of end on like a really good quote and you're just like, well dang. Like, yeah.
okay, found it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is from Kenna's point of view. This is where she's saying, it's kind of mid-sentence, but she's just saying, "I've wanted to quit living it so many times, but then moments like these remind me that happiness isn't some permanent thing we're all trying to achieve in life. It's merely a thing that shows up every now and then, sometimes in tiny doses that are just substantial enough to keep us going."
Like,
which is really sad. Like that's a sad.
I totally had that one too. I was like, do I share that one or do I
Yes.
share this one? Okay, I'm so glad. Okay.
Like,
Yes, that was so good.
So good, but this is at the beginning of the book where she is like,
She's really kind of
Has-
introducing herself to
yes,
us. Yeah, and
so
what she's been through.
Kind of like, oh, my life is really sucky.
Which, I mean, in
Which
all
it is.
fairness, it kind of is.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's gone through a lot.
She's in a predicament and she's been through a lot, but this girl, man, she is tough.
Yeah.
She does not give up. She's a fighter. She's a mother fighting for her child. And really, I think fighting for her vindication to be shown that she's not the villain she's been made out to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's how I was impressed with her throughout the book for that. Like, she had a lot of stuff coming at her constantly, but she was always like, I'm just gonna keep going, even though it was really hard for her to keep going, but she still did.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there was so much she could have just like turned bitter about, and she wasn't. Like she was trying to understand, like, okay, like I can understand like from their perspective.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
she was
know.
so empathetic.
And they
She
would-
didn't turn sour at all.
And like there was a part where she was saying something about like, even if they don't let me be with my daughter or something, like I still love them and I appreciate that they're taking care of her. Like she was like, I would choose nobody else or something like that.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
wow. So there's a lot of good.
I will say that one of the frustrating things was the parents of Scotty. I think their characters really just drove me crazy.
Too strong.
Yes, definitely too strong. At the same time, I'm like, well, I've also never had a kid that died. So I feel like that it'd be understandable. But at the same time, like, oh
It
my
felt
gosh.
almost unrealistic though, because they were just like acting like they were afraid of Kenna.
Yeah, like she's
Like she
really
was some
dumb.
hardened criminal. Yeah, it's like
Literally, it was just a car accident.
it was a
So-
car crash. It was a tragic accident, and she's just trying to see her kid for the first time in 5 years, and they're acting afraid of her, and it felt really unjustified. It angered me for Kenna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, a lot of things were like I felt like uncalled for, and I kind of like took me away to I was like, okay, we're taking it to that extent of things when nothing has really happened.
Yeah.
Like on her end, right? On Kenna's end.
Yeah,
she
it's like
was
okay, dramatic much.
Yeah.
Well, they even haven't had an interaction with her, and they're like restraining order.
Yes. Yeah.
She didn't do anything.
So
Literally
uncalled
nothing.
for. Yeah. She's like, I saw you in the parking lot. Restrained. Restrained.
Legal action.
Like, God forbid you want to see your daughter.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting with this book, in regards to Colleen Hoover, that a lot of her books are like, here's a story, and then, oh, bam, this thing happens. You know, like
Yes.
this cliffhanger or something you weren't expecting, where this is like, you weren't expecting the thing happens at the beginning. You know, you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting.
She kind of gets it over with.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like the story develops into her developing and the other characters changing. So that's why it's like different from her other ones as well. Just, you already know the big thing that happened.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, besides, you know, the letter later on, but.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good point about her books. They do have like a big thing. I feel like one of the things that stays consistent is just that she makes it relatable. So like just to real life. And
Even if you haven't been through this specific story, which none of us have.
Yeah.
Like the
you can
emotions
see-
behind it are very real. Yeah.
Like she
I
did
very
her
much.
homework definitely on like everything.
I cried several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. And in public.
I was in the plane and I was like silent crying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I had like started reading it before you guys, and I got to a page that made me cry, and I texted all of you and was like, yeah, I'm on page 24 and I'm crying, so prepare yourself. I barely had even touched the book and tears. So
Like the book should come with tissues.
yeah. Seriously, like it should just be like a part of the packaging.
Just Kleenex
that.
and
Yeah,
Colleen
provide
Hoover.
Yeah.
So
Collab.
hashtag coho.
Yeah, promo code.
But it was good. I did like the ending. I did appreciate the fact that Kenna, she was validated and vindicated. Her grief was finally acknowledged, that she also suffered a loss too. Like nobody pointed that out in the first however many chapters. And it does have a happy ending. Don't think it's all tears. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was just a really good human story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely
That could be
was.
realistic.
Yeah, it could. This, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure there's people that this has happened to.
Especially parents that are in prison.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
Or anybody who's had to go through like even just custody issues of fighting to get their kids and be in their life when they're trying really hard to turn their life around after one mistake.
Yeah.
Very
Going
relatable.
against it.
Yeah.
Against them.
Yeah. Agreed. It was definitely a very, like, even kind of her background is very human. Like, with going into the foster care system so many times, like.
Oh yeah, her upbringing of just having that family that was just so neglecting of her. And she never really felt that loved and special.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a part? I'm like, I have a part.
let's do it. Battle of the quotes. Let's do it. Oh, she took notes.
I even wrote in it.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's on page 131, and it's when like I think Kenna meets his parents or is like talking about his family.
Oh, the
and
flashback of her meeting Scotty's parents.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So this is Kenna. She goes, I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's Kenna. I don't know if I can explain it, or I think this is after Scotty. Anyways, I don't know if I can explain, but being here, it's like I can be my truest, most authentic self. I can cry. I can be in a bad mood or sad or happy. Any of those moods are accepted here, and I don't feel that anywhere else. And I
That's
really
what
want
home should be.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's what I really want to strive for with like my own daughters. Like, you can feel all these things and not be shamed for feeling those things. You don't have to be in trouble for feeling those things. Because I know that I have been lectured for feeling emotions.
Yeah, and home is your safe place.
Mhm.
Oh, it should be. Yeah, it should
Yeah, definitely. So that's why that was my quote.
be. What's your quote? Joey wants to know.
Well, so mine was when she was talking about. Okay, I guess I'll just read it because this is it. So, the second time I was placed in foster care, I was 10. I was the only foster child placed with a woman in her 60s named Mona.
Oh.
And I stayed with her for almost a year. Mona wasn't anything spectacular, but the simple fact that she watched movies with me every now and then, cooked dinner every night, and did laundry was more than my own mother ever did. Mona was average. She was quiet, she wasn't very funny, she wasn't even all that fun, but she was present. She made me feel taken care of. I was like, I love that. Like,
Right?
that's
I
what
love
she
that.
took from, staying at
Her
Greg's house
experience.
was just her being
And
around.
such a little thing.
Yeah,
such
very
a
little
basic,
things.
simple thing. Like, oh, we watched movies, but like it stuck with her to just have a mom who was just there.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love
It
that.
made me feel a little bit better about my parenting. I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, I am a good mom. Compared to Hannah's mom.
No. You're a great mom. You're a great mom too.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
But I could see that. I could, like, I'm not a mother, but I could still relate to that from my own childhood experiences of just like, or even working with children as an adult and like hearing their stories. And yeah, just it reminds you of the impact the smallest thing can have on a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, look at the adult it made Kenna into. You know what I mean? Like, her fierceness came from that.
Yeah.
Really.
Definitely. And then her like ambition to be a good mom, like be anything but her mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Ledger. I was really hoping that he was gonna come through for her. Like, I was like, please.
I was actually
Ledger
kind of
and
Like,
Horse
back and forth a
Truck.
little bit. Yeah.
I was a little nervous that he was gonna like give in and not.
I
Yeah.
think the friend helped. I was like, thank you, random friend.
Yes.
She-
Like keeping it real.
What are you
Uh-huh.
doing?
The random
And calling
friend that
his-
was like
yes.
playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
It was like, no, bro.
I kind
People
of
really
like
said
don't
that
care for people that always play devil's advocate because you're like, oh my gosh. But in this instance, I was like, thank you.
Yes.
If we did need you, we did need your opinion.
Right?
And it was like,
Like, you do count.
yeah, it was like him. He was like in a similar experience. So it's like just kind of interesting that once you're in an experience, you are more like aware and have sympathy for others who are.
Oh yeah,
also in
because
that.
the friend was a recovering alcoholic.
That's what.
Well,
Jerry
let's
said
explain
no.
it for you.
Yeah, right? But like his friend was a recovering alcoholic, so like even though his story was different than Kenna's, it was similar in the sense that like he is someone who would be judged
Right.
for something he did a long time ago. So he knows what that feels like, and yeah, he totally calls Ledger out. I'm like, dude, you're doing the thing. Don't do the thing.
Yeah. Like, you didn't do that to me, so why would you do it to me?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all need a friend like that.
Yes.
Definitely.
Looking at you guys.
You guys call me out.
You know I do.
Yes, I know you do. You're good.
I really love you.
Yes, I do.
Joey does.
Yeah.
Joey definitely does.
Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah, you know me.
Well, that's our review for Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Leave us a comment down below on your thoughts or if you plan on reading it. And if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.